22 jobs, one at a time. This is Backlog Buster's Final Fantasy V Single Job Challenge series. The core rule is to only use the assigned job. I'll be forced to go jobless using Freelancer until the assigned job becomes available. As soon as the job unlocks, I'll switch out of Freelancer and be locked into that job for the rest of the game, for better or for worse. I'll be doing my best to see the majority of the optional content, but it's gonna depend on the individual job for some of it. As an additional challenge, I'm going to try and beat the game at as low a level as possible, and to minimize grinding, though some grinding is likely inevitable. Other than that, there are no restrictions. All equipment, game mechanics, and strategies are available to beat the game and see the credits. Working through that lengthy list one by one, this time I'll be playing. With the Fire Crystal jobs, I'll have to freelance it for a bit. I'm going to be practical and blast through the game until Karnak Castle gets blowed up, then fork my save. So if you are watching the final trifecta of Fire Crystal jobs, which includes Ninja, Beastmaster, and Geomancer, and you've seen the other videos, or you just want to see where the single job challenge truly starts, you can skip ahead to this time code. With that out of the way, let's see what our old friend Bartz is up to. Oh, just bashing goblins' heads in and rescuing Lena and Galoof. Then, not long after, Ferris joins up and I'm smashing my way through the Wind Shrine. Wing Raptor's goose is getting cooked, and the Wind Crystal's already shattered. Jobs that I'm not interested in at the moment, but soon. Oh yeah, I get to see Zoc! Everybody loves Zoc! You know he made the Torna Canal, right? And did you know that inside the Torna Canal there's a lobster boss called Carlabos? It's Crabfest, baby. I will use auto attack and win. Easy peasy. It did help a lot that I grinded a bit outside of Tool. Goodbye, Sildra, we hardly knew ya. Seriously, it's been like less than 15 minutes. Sauntering through all these shipwrecks and giving the skeletons the graveyard smash, and I've made it to Siren. Jobless, Siren's always the same. Smash her with swords in human form, then chuck potions like it's going out of style in undead form. Another jobless victory for me. Carwin's got the goods. I'm snatching the Frost Rod and all kinds of new gear before heading up the North Mountain. Oh no! Magisa and her shenanigans again. Poisoning Lena with that dart's getting real old. Wait a second, a gift for her husband? Wait, what? A slew of sword swinging and she's calling in the big guns. Then that Frost Rod from Carwin's coming in real handy as Forza and Magisa both feel the chill of 0 Kelvin. Whip acquired. Lena poisoned, part 2, then Windrake detours go. I'm going all the way back to Tycoon Castle and grabbing the castle's fabulous secret treasures. The healing staff, the Ashura Container, and the lowly Diamond Bell. So easily forgotten. The Ashura's power is maximum, and the whip's back row okay. The Diamond Bell is back row okay too, but who cares about that one? Oh, and a throwable ninja star. Well, that will matter for at least one of these runs. Enough lollygagging. They're waiting for me in Waltz. Silver specks are getting stolen from that dude's house. Then I must plunder the treasures of the basement. Elf Cape number 1 acquired. I spent way too much time lollygagging. A meteor's hit the earth. It's never been more over, bros. Wait, what's that? There's a secret doomsday bunker north? Quick, panic, everybody run! Well, most doomsday bunkers are underground. Looks like King Walls missed the memo and built it up instead of down. The Walls Tower is nothing of note. I'm just physically smashing everything. To death, bro. Which also includes Boss of the Hour Garula. Garula is no match for Magisa's whip. As a magic beast type enemy, Garula is paralyzed from the... Since Garula is only capable of physically attacking and countering, paralysis completely destroys his damage capability. If an attack ever does go through, well, Lena can just beat off the team with the healing staff to get them back into tip-top shape. That's really a big if, because it's not long before the Whip, Ashura, and lowly Diamond Bell take him out. God bless auto battle. And then, in an absolutely shocking twist, the Water Crystal shatters. That's cool and all, but these are still not the jobs that I'm looking for. It turns out that meteor did not destroy the planet. We've never been more back. Inside the meteor, I'm stepping on that panel and I'm teleported to a new continent. Let's see what this place is all about. Imprisoning tourists, okay? Sounds good. Oh, I found the world's smartest man. Final Fantasy's Sid. How smart could he actually be? He blasted into a wall instead of blowing apart the door. Sid's got the gift of gab though, so I'm out of here. Oh, what? The fire crystal's gonna blow up? We gotta hurry, everybody panic! Sneaky, cheeky Suze spotted. And spotting Suze reminds me, I should massacre some wild knacks so I can afford the sweet new gear Karnak has on offer. After a slaughtering session, Frost Rod's acquired. I gotta get while the getting's good, man. Now I'm straight down to the fire ship's basement at lowly and unlucky level 13. I got no need for treasures, plus I can just come back here later if I really care. Straight to the bottom. Oh no, the fire's become sentient! The fire has gained intelligence and hopefully also the ability to feel pain. I smash an ice rod and then bonk him to death with my swords. Destroyed in seconds. Suze spotted again. What do you mean he's about to get blown up? Oh, the fire crystal's destroyed. Give me those shards. I guess not right now. Lena explains that somehow, some way, the fire crystal was holding the castle together. It makes absolutely no sense, just play along with her. I'm sure the poison has destroyed what's left of her brain cells. I must now escape the castle, but not before grabbing the fabulous secret treasures inside. Starting with the ribbon, which I can use for just right now. Once I'm out of the castle, ribbon time is over. Now for the standard up and around to find the elf cape, then around to the other side to find the main gauche. Always gotta grab the gauche. I'm contractually obligated. Lena got toted at some point during this run through and I don't have any maiden's kisses. She's a frog forever now. Karnak treasures acquired and it's time to bounce. Oh, except I think there's one last chest worth getting. This one. The content's useful for exactly ninja. On the way out, it's a trap! I was sleepwalking through Karnak again, so I auto-battled the first knack down to death. Evidently, frogs can still rod smash, so Frog Lena takes out the sergeant long before he can even imagine transforming into Ironclaw. I'm out of here. Karnak blows up, and finally, these are the jobs that I'm looking for. The final Fire Crystal job, the forever sleepy Geomancer. Geomancer's unique weapon is also the loudest, bells. Let's pick up another 3 diamond bells from that new weapon man in Karnak, but only after curing Frog Lena. Daggers are still on the table, thank God, but let's see how bad the bells actually are. I'm really not anticipating a good time with this one, so let's head to the forest to try out Geomancy. Guy has a bit of a weird ability. It does a randomized attack based on the tile set that you're standing on. Looks like this early forest tier of Leaf Swirl and Branch Arrow are surprisingly decent. Maybe this won't be so bad after all. And hey, the faster I get this done, the faster I can return to slumber. At the very least, bells are back row okay, so I can plant my rear there for the rest of the game. Down in the ancient library, what secrets does Geomancy hold? Some book-based attacks maybe? Ignis Fatuus. A fire attack? Seriously? They're giving me a free win down here as Geomancer? Simple blessings. Take this, all you stupid books. Burn! Burn it to the ground, burn! Byblos, I've got your number. Oh god, I forgot. I have to beat Ifrit first. I guess I have to resort to meleeing him to death already, since all I can do is spam Gaia or swing my stupid bells. Hold the heckin' phone there, Chief. Ignis Fatuus causes confusion? Just like my ape ancestors before me, I have witnessed an event, and the spark of an idea begins to form. My Geomancers can spam Ignis Fatuus to maintain confusion, and then run Ifrit out of MP. Once Ifrit's out of MP, he'll whiff a bunch of his attacks. The only threats will be his physicals and non-MP using abilities, which will still destroy me, but that's a problem for future Wesley. So as I wait for Ifrit to tucker himself out, why don't you consider liking the video and subscribing to the best channel, Backlog Buster? If you want to support the channel even further, you can become a channel member or check out the Patreon. There's exclusive videos there for all of my glorious Buster boys to enjoy, and the backlog of premium content continues to grow. Now, let's see how those Geomancers are holding up. Ifrit can't possibly have that much MP left. He will occasionally kick himself to break out of confusion, but spamming Ignis Fatuus does a good job of keeping him confused. The fact that it's healing him right now is irrelevant. I just gotta get his MP down. I think I'm gonna take a little nap. Thankfully, this really isn't an omniscient situation. Ifrit's out of MP in just under 20 minutes. Now I just gotta figure out a way to kill him. Let's try the lowly Diamond Bell. Hold on, it's not breaking confuse? Does the Diamond Bell count as a magic attack? I found my out. I have no intention of letting Ifrit hit me, ever. If he ever kicks himself out of confusion, I'm gonna throw out more Ignis Fatuus because Blaze here doesn't use MP. A heal of 300 or so is a small price to pay as I chip off 50 HP at a time with these terrible Diamond Bells. I did have a dedicated potion chucker just to be super safe, but by carefully and meticulously spamming the ding-dongs and throwing Ifrit back into confuse by healing him, I eventually wore him down. That was the most labor-intensive Ifrit to date, without a doubt. Hopefully the rest of Geomancer will be a breeze, haha. I'm leaving the library now to rest and save. There's no chance in heck I risk dying after that fight. Snooze time. Rested and restored, I'm back to book burning all the way back to the basement with Ignis Fatuus. Book-based boss Byblos would normally be a huge problem, but since I have a spammable fire attack, he's going down easy. Byblos still hits like a truck, but Ignis Fatuus are hitting for 400 to 700 damage. Occasionally you'll get a low roll for like 200, but this is really good damage output. Before long, Byblos is already starting with the drain counters. He only managed to suck off a few of my guys because the power of Gaia is simply too strong. Now mid, get your keister back to Karnak. Now Sid, get that fire ship fixed while I take over your room. It's nap time. Onto the ship to see some progress. Galoof, your backstory is really cool, but it's making me kinda sleepy. One nap later, and you know what? Only I get to be the world's sleepiest man. Get off my ship, I have a world to save. I'm headed straight to Crescent Island to get this show on the road. Just kidding, I'm heading straight to Jack Hole. I'm picking up Mage Masher since I know that these Diamond Bells are gonna get benched sooner rather than later. Now I'm headed to Crescent- gotcha again! Grinding is inevitable. In a post-Beastmaster world, I know that the Soul Cannon is immune to wind damage. Soul Cannon's up in the sky, I can put 2 and 2 together. I.e., I'm not going to be able to use Gaia, which means forced melee attacks. I'm planting my feet on the earth that is Black Flame Island and giving those Mage Mashers a workout. Unfortunately, Gaia does not work well on Black Flames. Geomancer really started off strong, but it's losing steam real fast. I'll never be able to beat the Soul Cannon if his side launchers hit me with uld. I'm grinding 200,000 gil to buy 4 Angel Rings from Istory. The levels I get here are gonna help a lot too. I grinded for so long, I even bought 2 Flame Rings. You know, just in case. Geomancer is by far the easiest job to master, but unfortunately, all of its abilities are just innate to Geomancer, so I'm getting no benefit out of leveling it up. Woof. Now I'm finally entering Crescent Island and letting my fire ship go. Longest time I've ever had it in these challenges. Down to the Chocobo Forest to snag that black Chocobo. Flying my way back to the Ancient Library now, where Sid and Mid reveal the plot lines. King Tycoon flew over the desert? Questions are being answered like never before, and new mysteries are being revealed. This season is crazy. Enter the Sandworm fight. I have to test out Gaia. I gotta try it, even though I know in my heart it's not gonna do anything. Sandstorm is actually doing some decent damage, but it is target all, which means I get 2 gravity counters from the holes for my trouble. Shy Halud over here just happens to be sitting in the front row, and I'm bricked up from hours of grinding. Didn't need the spice to see how this one was gonna turn out. The desert's actually got some pretty powerful Gaia moves. Most notable is Quicksand for instant kills, but it's time to get the heck out of here. I've grinded enough. King Tycoon, do we really need to do this again? I'm so tired, man. Hang on, there's a bunch of beds in the catapult. We are so back, bros. Ooh, my fire ship sitting right next to the airship, the only ship I ever really care about. I'm flying straight into the sky. It's the mighty Crayclaw. Alright, Gaia, show me what you got. Sonic Boom? Dude, it's just like Guile from Street Fighter. Miss? Oh, misses? Let me guess, it's a gravity attack or something. Alright, here's Wind Slash, which actually did some decent damage. More of that, please. Mage Masher hits are at sub 100 damage even after all of that grinding. Very, very cool. All I can really do here is just keep attacking and praying that I don't get killed after Tails Grow. It's better to be lucky than good, baby. Crayclaw defeated, but that did not instill much confidence in Geomancer's abilities moving forward, let me tell ya. Wonky Ronky Ruins raised, and I'm back on the quest for an adamantite at Tycoon Meteor. Surely that blue turtle won't give me much trouble. Show me the strength of the earth! I use Gaia! Wind Slash showed up. Oh, here's my old friend Ignis Fatuus. And Stalactite, that's new. Then 2 more Wind Slashes came out and it's over. Dude, nice. Back to the Brain Lords for an upgrade on my airship, which means I get to snooze once again. Nothing that I love more in this world than a comfy bed. I'm at level 34 as I approach the Ronka Ruins. Excessive? Maybe. But grinding is inevitable. It's time for the first set of side cannons. Let's see if Gaia's the true path. Okay, Wind Slash and Sonic Boom doing some insane damage. These cannons are getting absolutely blasted. All 4 sets of side cannons down without breaking a sweat. And people say Geomancer sucks? And I found out why immediately. The Soul Cannon emerges to ruin my life once again. Sonic Boom whiffs, and Wind Slash comes out and deals 0 damage. Squaresoft making the Soul Cannon immune to wind damage was definitely a choice. I wanted to see if just maybe there was something else Gaia could offer me. In denial, I allowed the Soul Cannon to blast me to death, but not after attempting to smack the side launchers around. To my utter shock and amazement, the lowly Diamond Bell is actually doing significantly more damage than the Mage Masher. Attempt 2, new plan. With my Angel Rings on, I have no worries about uld. All I gotta do is blast the side launchers to stop their gravity attacks. Once they're down, I can resume the bell tolling on the Soul Cannon itself. 300 damage is not great, but it could be a lot worse. I have a couple of dedicated potion chuckers, but 50 HP a pop is simply not enough. It really doesn't help that the wave cannon comes out faster and faster every time. The Geomancers just can't kill fast enough with physical attacks. I ate yet another wave cannon and died. I gave it the old college try. I ran several attempts seeing if I could get it done. I opted to use one of my only elixirs and then I tried to use Phoenix Downs, but it just wasn't enough. Geomancers really just have no more recourse here. I either grind more levels and pray my damage goes up, or I have to resort to grinding elixirs. Just like with Bard, I returned to the Wind Shrine and started slaughtering everything there relentlessly to try and stockpile some elixirs from Mold Winds. I just need enough elixirs to survive the wave beams until I can tear off its 22,500 HP at 300 a dong. Yikes. I managed to grind up to 12 elixirs, which means I can survive like 3 or 4 wave cannons. Back to the sky to try once again, with exactly the same strategy. Angel rings on to avoid old, then ding dong on the side launchers, and then ringing the bell at the soul cannon itself. After wave cannon pops, I slammed a round of elixirs on everyone, then it's immediately back to tolling the bells. The wave cannons keep coming out faster and faster. Round 2 of elixirs, only 1 round left. Wave cannon number 3, and I'm using the last elixirs just in time for the 4th wave cannon. And just after that 4th wave cannon, I rang the bell for the last time on the soul cannon. I've won. Now that I've completely tapped myself out of all of my stockpiled items, how hard could the Ronka ruins really be? Looks like the enemies inside are susceptible to Gaia's Wind Slash, so this should be really easy. Right up until enchanted fans come in. Man, absorbing wind damage. One of the least common elements you have. Very cool, but at least the bells are slugging them for 500 damage a hit. What is with these bells, man? They must scale off of your magic stat or something because their base attack power is Garbo. Regardless, Gaia's carrying me through the dungeon all the way to King Tycoon and his pet Archaeoavis. I've got no healing items, but a sleepy guy like me has nothing but dreams. Let's pray that Gaia does literally anything, okay? I'm hoping. Wind Slash is coming in hot. Oh baby, this is some actual real damage output for once in my life. Archaeoavis is wind smashed to death. And I do mean to death because every form is crushed by Gaia before it can do much of anything. But then Archaeoavis revives, and of course, I'm not so fortunate any longer. Every one of my Gaia attacks is hitting for 0, as are my lowly Diamond Bells. The dream of Ding Dong must be sidelined for now. I've got to swap to the Mage Mashers and the fraunchiest main gauche. Archaeoavis is not making this easy. He's spamming Maelstrom and Tusk, which is blinding everyone. This has gone very poorly. I'm barely keeping the party alive. Oh great, Entangle is here too for Paralyze. Just beautiful. I'm somehow managing to chip off tiny amounts of health as I spam endless Phoenix Downs, because that's the only healing item I have left. Oh, there's Breathwing. That's a bummer, dude. If he throws out any more of those, it's all over. But instead, Archaeoavis decided to show mercy, or he was a big idiot and he just didn't. I managed to cut him down with 1,000 cuts as everyone threw Phoenix Downs in a panic. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a big hurdle deftly vaulted over. I'm sure Geomancy won't let me down ever again. I'll surely never need to dagger anything to death again, right? Surely. Speaking of death, here's Kryl to blow up King Tycoon and release X-Death. Why would Kryl do this? Is she stupid? Then Galoof and Kryl leave, for no reason. And instead of going with him, I'm gonna not, and then regret it, and be forced to figure out a new way to get there. An amazing experience. This season is crazy. I think I'll sleep at the catapult. The answers will surely be revealed to me in a dream. Bartz's World Meteor Tour begins. Starting off, I'm flying to walls for the bomb squad. I've got to kill them all at the same time to avoid the Arise counters. Let's try Gaia. What's the worst that could happen? Alright, Branch Arrow is single target. That doesn't seem very good. Leaf Storm is multi-target. More of those, please. What's this? Branch Spear? That's new. Looks like a beefed up Branch Arrow with some serious damage. But it's also single target, and it kills one of the bombs, which means Arise counters are on the table. But what if I were just to say heck with the mechanics and just spam Gaia over and over again? You know, Arise as much as you like, I'll just keep killing ya. Eventually there were 3 bombs left and they started self-destructing. I ate the attacks and the final bomb was out of MP. I blasted him and it was all over. Boss mechanics, schmechanics, get out of here. It's Titan's turn in Karnak. I'll evict that squatter, don't you worry, brain boys. I use Gaia. Stalactites start falling from the ceiling. Earth on Earth crimes are happening, but I'm not complaining. Easy victory. Finally, it's the Chimera Brain at Gone. The brain feasting is in progress, but I'm not gonna let that happen. The Gaia gang's all here. Stalactite, Windslash, even Ignis Fatuus has returned. Yet another easy kill for the Geomancers. My luck's truly turning around, but I'm still making a backup save in case things go real bad once I become the aliens in Gloof's world. I'm jumping into the portal, and man, this Earth feels a little different. But sleeping is always exactly the same. Interrupting a snooze sesh? Dude, you violated the nap. Trapped in prison once again. Well, that does sound like some prime time to catch up on some serious Z's. However, I am rudely interrupted by Galoof smashing in on the Windrake. Gilgamesh gets absolutely obliterated with an absurd sonic boom. Seriously, that damage was psycho mode. I'm out of prison, and the quest to find a comfy bed continues across the big bridge. The bridge should have water-based geomancy, right? Oh no, I guess it's more Wind Slash. Not that I'm complaining, it's one of my best attacks. Gilgamesh 2 Electric Boogaloo. Oh good, Sonic Boom just stopped working. But Wind Slash is back once again. Even post Haste and Shell in Phase 2, Geomancer manages to win. I'm sleepwalking through this game for real. But just as I sit down to take a break, I'm barrier blasted to Regol. High potions, finally. New gear too. I could really use a new weapon, so let's see what bells you got. There aren't any. Hang on, let me look something up. Oh, okay. There's exactly 4 bells in the game. The final 3 are in the merged world. That means I'm holding on to the diamond bells for the foreseeable future. Or Chalcom Dirks it is. But what's this, the Gaia gear? That sounds pretty on brand. This strengthens my earth attacks, which in my heart, I pray is all geomancy. Unfortunately, I know it's probably only like stalactite in caves. Moving into the forest, that Moogle continues to have a death wish, and I have to rescue him. Time to go underwater cave diving again. I will use the power of the caves against all the enemies. Whirlpool doing absolutely nothing. Stalactite is back, and it's feeling mighty boosted with the Gaia gear. Oh yeah, and Ignis Fatu's here, thank God. Yeah, so Geomancy kinda sucking in here unless it's Stalactite. Or Chalcom Dirks really aren't pulling their weight either. I'm better off resorting to the lowly Diamond Bell in the back row once again. After a combat gauntlet, I've reached the end, where the Tyrannosaur is. Bro's been sleeping here for 1,000 years. He's a kindred spirit. Return to slumber, friend. Now I have to cross the desert to collect my rewards for saving the Moogle. The Dancing Dagger returns. I know deep down, I'm gonna be forced to use it, and I really hate that. Kryle's here now to get me back to Ball, where I learned the Windrake is dying and I need the Dragon Grass. Why? New mysteries are being revealed. Lena's frothing at the mouth just thinking about that grass. I'm northbound to Kooky Kelb. Kelgar, you best behave. I'm gonna ring the bell, and this will be like a Pavlov's dog situation or something, I don't know. Gonna have to workshop that one a bit. No time for snorting creatine. I'm earth boosted, and I'm straight into Drakenvale. Show me what you've got, new tile set. Cave-in. Always love a collaboration with man's greatest companion, Rock. The wretched monsters of Drakenvale were no match for my constant spamming of Gaia. One of the easiest trips to the summit so far. The Dragon Grass, finally. Lena, no, stop, wait! The Dragon Pod and its goofy flowers shouldn't be a problem for Geomancy. Oh yeah, I've got Earthquake to clear out the flowers and Cave-in. There's an occasional gust for 0, but Geomancers are absolutely crushing it. Cave-in is insanely strong. Hopefully that isn't the last time that I see it, haha. I returned to Galoof's castle and gave the Windrake the Dragon Grass. Lena secretly snacked on some while I wasn't looking though, so this better be enough. Windrake's fixed, and my Geomancy was too powerful. All I did was step on Sage Guido's island and it sunk. Whoops. Oh well, Zayza, how you doing, old buddy? You're offering me a nap? I knew you were my favorite Dawn Warrior. But just as I got into bed, I was rudely awoken by Gilgamesh. I'm gonna crush him. Nobody interrupts my sleep. What ship-based geomancy is at my disposal? Big wave? Yeah, that's pretty solid, alright. Whirlpool's a whiff, but I'm throwing tidal waves like they're going out of style. And here I was thinking there weren't actually any water-based attacks you could use in Final Fantasy V besides Leviathan. Gilgamesh and Enkidu get big wave? They're pulled out to sea by the Riptide, never to be seen again. Using my past knowledge, I'm getting back on the Windrake and saving. I have a feeling that the barrier tower is going to suck, and Zayza's submarine is going to implode. I made it inside, but I hope I'm wrong about the barrier tower. Wind Slash is making an appearance, but unfortunately it's quite rare. Sonic Booms are more common, and it is a constant whiff. Geomancer asks the eternal question of Reflect Rings once again. These last fights have been okay, but I'm not taking any chances on Geo. I'm gonna pick up the full set of 4 Reflect Rings, no matter how long it takes. I reach the top save, let's start the grind session. Wind Slash makes short work of the Reflect Knights. Ziggurat Gigases, on the other hand, absorb it. I can clear out the lesser enemies with Wind Slash and then give Gigases the Ding Dong, but I think the best option is just to run from them. What's 50 minutes of grinding Reflect Rings between us friends? I finally have all 4 and I'm fighting Atmos at the top of the tower. Let's see what Gaia's all about. Okay, Gust for 200 damage. Alright, the Diamond Bell is hitting for 140. I've made a mistake coming here. Bart's Sword Dance is hitting for 2200 damage. I thought I was out, but it looks like I must become the Dance Commander again. Oh hey, Wind Slash exists. That's 800 damage. My damage is horrendous, so I've really got to play this smart. I would love nothing more than to just auto-battle, but I'm gonna have to revive people so they don't get sucked into the void. Otherwise, I'm just gonna run out of time and lose. Bart's must be the Dance Commander, but I've got to try and buy him some more time. Well, that sure was a waste. Get Bart's back up, ladies. He's the only one pulling his weight. Speaking of pulling, goodbye, Ferris. Lena got wormholed next, and Galoof's well on his way to getting sucked in. But Bart's pulled off back-to-back sword dances, and I've won. Ooh boy, didn't anticipate much problems with Atmos, but Geomancy is feeling pretty binary. It either works, or it doesn't. There's nothing in between. Oh hey, Zeza, you're not going to be needing that submarine, right? I stole the Guardian branch from Sage Guido, and I left to surface and more. I'm snatching up the second main gauche, and look at that, air knives are available now. Those seem incredibly important since Windslash is constantly coming out with Gaia. It's like in every area. New magic-based armor too, so I guess the Gaia gear is finally getting benched. Consistent magic damage is going to be a lot better than boosted Earth spells when half the time it's not even using Earth. Behold, the Guardian branch. I'm in. I will turn the forest against all of the enemies in here with my Geomancy. All of the branch arrows and leaf swirls you can shake a stick at. Right up until Xdeath sets the forest on fire. Damn, did he really just ruin my strategy? I'm entering the big tree and praying that I don't end up inside of a pool. Oh, and also for a big victory against all of those crystals. I've got 3 elf capes, 2 main gauches, and I'm in the back row. This should be totally free. Let's go, Gaia, show me what you got. Thank God I've still got forest-based Geomancy. Branch Spear is strong as heck, but that targeting is a big problem. I need to be able to focus down a single crystal at a time. Leaf Swirl does mediocre damage and heals the back crystal. Wind Elemental attack confirmed. Thankfully, Branch Spear is actually seeking out the Wind Crystal. It's honed in on its location, like hot singles in my area. And now, all interest has been lost. I'm eating Aerogas left and right because I can't finish the darn thing off with Gaia. My Geomancy keeps whiffing the Wind Crystal. Earth Crystal's the new target of choice. And now, it's an Earthshaker range. Geomancer is mostly a mage job, and I've got magic defenses out the wazoo, but I can't eat spells forever, man. Branch Spear comes out, and now it's hitting the Water Crystal. God, it's just gonna be one of those days, isn't it? Gaia has let me down. It distributed the damage across the bottom 3 crystals, and I got blowed up by all of their magic. Simply amazing. Round 2, let's go. Branch Spear's coming out in full force once again. You love to see it. You don't love to see the Wind Crystal not getting finished off and Aeroga coming out. This time around, I'm just gonna have some dedicated high potion chuckers. Maybe that's all the difference that I needed. Nope. The randomized targeting split the damage again, putting multiple crystals in magic range. It's never been more over. Oh right, I bought 2 flame rings for this exact scenario. I'm belled up, and these crystals are about to see what's what. I haven't learned my lesson yet, so I'm opening up with even more Geomancy. It worked so well last time. I finally got a clue, and I kept tolling the bell until the fire crystal was down at 50% health. This was extremely slow, by the way. Firaga finally makes an appearance, though. Bartz and Lena absorb it with the flame rings. Galoof and Ferris do not. Take a nap, you two. I'll frag this, Charlie. This fight should be in the bag now. All I have to do is let the Firagas heal my remaining party as they slowly whittle down the crystals. The Wind Crystal is a bit of a problem for air knives, but I'm just swapping back to my lowly Orichalcum Dirks. Never sell anything in a challenge run, by the way. Fire Crystal, you've been extremely helpful, but it's time to say goodbye. One more boss down for these sleepy Geomancers. Xdeath shows up and he makes Galoof go to sleep. He's earned his place on the Eternal Snooze Cruiser. Rest well, old friend. Kryle's in and now it's time to get some revenge. But if Xdeath's just gonna put me to sleep, you know, I don't mind. I'd love nothing more than to rot away in bed forever. Rot away just like Kelgar of the Dawn Warriors. He's gone to his eternal slumber too. Oh, lucky guy. Xdeath's castle is filled to the brim with more wind elemental geomancy. That means these air knives are paying dividends. Hell, even basic swings are doing really good damage, but our old friend Windslash is truly the MVP. Geomancer is finally pulling its weight. Even when I'm fighting tough monsters like yellow dragons, Gaia is just obliterating everything in here. But once again, there's nothing for Geomancers in the castle. No new bells and no new daggers. But what else is new? Oh right, this is location 1 of 2 where Geomancer shines. No damage on lava floors and I can see the pitfalls. This truly justified the entire existence of this job. Straight to the top, where I face off against Gilgamesh. I will choose to spam Gaia, only for Sonic Booms to constantly whiff. God, I love it. My kingdom for a Windslash, please. Okay, fine, we'll do this the old-fashioned way. I've kept a knife under my pillow for this very reason. Gilgamesh is getting Gilga cut? For once in his life, Gilgamesh decides to choose violence instead of status effects. I'm getting owned, for real. I'm forced to throw items like crazy just to stay alive. But 1,000 cuts later and Gilgamesh ends up transforming. After that, getting banished to the Shadow Realm is inevitable. Xdeath, stop whatever you're doing and make me the Eternal Snoozer. Alright, fine, I'll earn it. Gaia starting off strong with Windslash, you love to see it. 1400 damage is very respectable. What isn't respectable is how I keep whiffing sonic booms and Gust only doing like 400 damage. It's really like I'm back playing Dancer again for real. I'm just praying for high rolls. I'm like level 44 at this point, so I've got the HP to tank a lot of hits, but I'm quickly having to resort to a dedicated high potion chucker. I have reflect rings on. My strategy is just to get Xdeath into his final phase and have him destroy himself with magic. Ooh, level 3 flare. You can blast that right back at yourself there, buddy. Vacuum waves really are hurting like hell. Maybe I should go back into the back row. Finally, Gaia pulled through. Xdeath ate enough wind slashes to get him into his final bracket. The tier 3 magic is on its way. Firaga getting reflected, straight into Ferris's face. Why isn't she wearing a reflect ring? New mysteries are being revealed. This fight is going very poorly. People are getting knocked out left and right, and my damage is simply terrible. I'm definitely running out of steam, and I'm really running out of items. Thankfully though, through endless high potion and Phoenix Down chucking, I can survive. Xdeath is taking himself out by spamming all of those tier 3 spells. The Geomancers did help a bit here and there, but it was almost entirely Xdeath blowing himself up. Not gonna complain about that. Grinding reflect rings was absolutely worth it on Geomancer. I'm feeling a little sleepy though. I've awoken in Bartz's world. Was it all a dream? No, not that kind of dream. Nothing left to do but pick up Boko and get him to help me cross a river. All so I can fall into a pit and face off against the Antlion. The Antlion is always deceptively difficult because he spams Discord, and that sucks. Surely Gaia won't fail me again. Ignis Fatuus and Stalactite, alright, I can work with that. Windslash is also back once again. Antlion's done. Dude, nice. This kind of reminds me of that part in Terranigma. Listen, Boko, I know we're friends, but I'm getting kind of hungry. He's saved by the rope. Ferris is back in, and that turtle is here to give me a lecture in the library. Oh my god, it's so boring. Huh? What? Tablets? I was listening. Into the desert once again, and I'm forced to pick up the chicken knife back and more. Geomancer's damage with Gaia is unreliable, so I need to find something consistent. The chicken knife is just not consistent at all, but I know that I'm gonna need it. Before I concede to grinding the escapes to max out the chicken knife, let's try out the gargoyles. Alright, this is really not going well at all. Gaia is back to doing nothing, and my damage across the board with melee attacks sucks. There's a transfusion. Well, it's all over, bros. GG, go next. Grinding the chicken knife to max damage on Geomancer was inevitable. I'll see you guys when it's finally over. An hour and a half of running from battles later, and my chicken knife is capped out. Now time to face off against the gargoyles. Bartz comes in and come on, it's only 1300 damage? Oh, I was in the back row, my bad. There was never any other option. I have to resort to counting. I'm whittling both gargoyles down slowly and then bursting them both quickly with banked turns. Just a beautiful whiff there, Bartz. God, I love the chicken knife for real. I'll spare you the details on this one, but I finally managed to whittle them down, and Bartz connected with the chicken knife when it counted. I made it into the pyramid, and there's absolutely nothing interesting in here at all. I'm just racing to the top as usual. And at the top, I've got the tablet. I see my airships freed, so I'm going to the forest where I will fight Melusine. Okay, so there's no way Gaia's gonna give me fire damage in the forest, so I guess I have to rely on the chicken knife and praying that Gaia does literally anything. Oh, look at that, the power of the forest coming in clutch! Branch Spear has some serious penetrating power. Branch Spear is making the maxed out chicken knife look like a joke. Melusine's turned into a pincushion, destroyed by the power of the forest. Lena's back in the party, and now I've got my airship too. The cutscenes are watched. I especially love this part where Bartz gets really mad and flies around at breakneck speed for no reason. Now that I have control, I'm going to Phantom Village right away for my Hermes sandals. Haste and time-based status immunity. Simply the strongest accessory. I also had enough money to buy 4 times Lamia tiaras to stop confusion, and a couple of coral rings for later. Now I could choose black or white robes. I'm gonna go with white robes for the extra stamina. Now to just snag the thief knife and pray that I never need to use it as I release the black chocobo. It's been a while since I've got a new bell. Let's go get one now. Flying straight to Kuza, drop it off my tablet. Of the 3 weapons, I'm starting with the Assassin's Dagger as usual, then going for the lowly Gaia Bell, and then I'll get the Flame Lash while I'm here. The Gaia Bell has more damage than the Diamond Bell, boosts Earth, and has a chance to proc Earthquake. That actually sounds like it could be good. I gave it a slam outside and it did seem pretty decent. Let's head straight into the Island Shrine. Maybe this time I'll actually have an easy victory against the gargoyles. I did, but not because of the Earth Bell. The Assassin's Dagger's instant death is helping a lot here. My hasted Geomancers managed to nick the second gargoyle to death before it revived the other one, so I'm not complaining. I've peaked, by the way. Nothing else for Geomancer worth getting. Oh, dude, nice. The Island Shrine's trapdoors are revealed to me. Geomancer can't stop winning. You know, they may be small wins, but wins are still wins, okay? A quick trip to the bottom to grab Tablet 2, and I'm facing off against the Wendigo. Gaia's no doubt just gonna get me killed with frost counters. No, it's the same shtick as always. I'll smash the Wendigo by playing his shell game. Very, and I mean very slowly, taking hits off whenever I can with basic attacks. Tablet 2 acquired, and that unlocks the Fork Tower. Could Gaia be considered magic? I mean, I would call it magic, but who knows what the game thinks. Minotaur's probably going to be more of a problem, so Bartz, Ferris, and Kryl are up the right side, and Lena's running it solo as usual. Minotaur's up first. The Geomancers are knifed up and ready to go. Gaia's allowed in Minotaur's fight, and that doesn't bode well for Omniscient. Hasted chicken knife swings are chunking Minotaur. Kryl's just thrown the occasional high potion, and Ferris is spamming Gaia and praying for Wind Slash. This ended up being a free win on Minotaur. But now let's see what Omniscient's all about. Lena has a Reflect Ring on. I can beat Omniscient as long as I'm willing to wait 16 hours to run him out of MP. Let's try Gaia first though. Sonic Boom is whiffing, what else is new? Finally, Wind Slash comes out and there's a return counter. Great, it counts as a physical attack for some reason. How about the Earth Bell? Nope, that counts as a physical too. Okay. But do you remember way back at the start when I fought Ifrit? That's right, the lowly Diamond Bell counts as a magic attack. The damage is absolutely pathetic at 250 a hit, but with a Reflect Ring on, I basically can't die. Lena's gonna give Omniscient the ding-dong! Gonna have to remember this strategy for Freelancer and Mime to save myself 16 hours. I guess 32 collectively. That felt like an absolute eternity, but that's Omniscient down and the Fork Tower completed. The black and white towers crumble, revealing the catapult. My favorite place to snooze. Sid and Mid get straight to work, and I've got submarine capabilities, which I will now use right away. I'm headed straight to the bottom of the Sunken Walls Tower to stare down Go-Go. He blinked first, Mime acquired. Now I'm heading back to Boko to grab the magic lamp from the top of Isri Falls. Then I opted to tackle Odin in Ball's basement. Gotta take the long way around through Jackal Cave first. Geomancer's really not the fastest boss killer, but a hasted chicken knife is pretty darn strong. I tested the waters with Gaia as usual, but Sonic Booms are whiffing, so it's back to smashing Odin's face in. Bartz is really carrying the whole party on his shoulders here. Oh, look at that, I just barely won with the last hit from the Earth. Wait, what? It didn't count. Okay, let's just try that again. Auto battle, lend me your power. Oh, look, I won this time. Alright, game, whatever. Straight out of Ball, straight back to the Black Chocobo. Flying south to head north, and I'm mountaineering up the North Mountain. Bahamut chose to fight me on the North Mountain, and that was his greatest mistake. Gaia is ripping cave-ins. The occasional earthquake is whiffing, but that's of no consequence. Cave-In is doing ridiculous damage. I got nailed with Maelstrom, but then Bahamut throws out a Mega Flare. Seems inevitable that Bahamut roasts himself to death. Kryl was Reflect Ringless, but she'll walk it off. In fact, she walked it off all the way up the Phoenix Tower and back down. Crazy, right? Time to uncover the mystery of history. Hey, that rhymed. Gargoyles number 3. I kinda just fumbled my way through this one, you know. At this point in the game, you can kinda just grug it. Maxing out the chicken knife was definitely the right move on Geo, let me tell you. I've peaked, so I'm just ripping straight to the bottom to find the tablet, slaughtering everything with Gaia and basic attacks along the way. Tablet number 3 acquired. Red guy gets swept away by Leviathan. I've equipped my coral rings, so this should be a free win as usual. Gaia's no good since it's all water attacks. I'm just gonna smash his face in with a chicken knife, Earth Bell, and Assassin's Dagger. Lena and Ferris ate it, then Kryl and Bartz fell shortly after, but after some tactical item usage, I'm done. I'm heading down to the Undersea Trench for the final gargoyles. Stalactite and Wind Slashes with physicals make short work of them. Now for Geomancer to truly shine. Gaia is actually doing pretty well down here, and I take no damage from the lava. The one time Geomancer truly shines is right here. Just like Bard, who would have guessed? Gremlins spotted. Let's see how Gaia does. Some interesting tidbits like Ignis Fatuus confusing one causing it to self-destruct. Can't say I've ever seen that before. But of course, they just revive each other. Then they nail me with Delta Attack, at which point I opted to just smoke them with Odin from the Magic Lamp. Can you blame me? I snagged the last tablet, and I recharged the Magic Lamp as I left the trench. That's everything. I sold all of my stockpiled treasures and restocked on items because it's time for the Interdimensional Rift. Listen, what do you want me to say? This is the 16th time I've been down here. I pass the boss intimidation check, then I proceed to snag the elixir chests and crush or run from everything down to Califasteri. But I'm in the forest, so let's give her the rage of the trees. The chicken knife's also coming in hot, but it causes drain counters. Gaia isn't getting countered with drain, so that's getting spammed. Hoping for branch spears and just winning. Yeah, it's over, I've won. Next up is the Apanda, basically Byblos number 2. He's still a book and still in a library. Let's see how my old friend Ignis Fatuus is faring. The damage could definitely be better, and apparently Protect halves its damage, so that's pretty cool. Bartz is slugging with the chicken knife, and everyone else is spamming Gaia. I'm pretty high level, with natural magic defense, so Drain is actually whiffing a lot. Ferris did get sucked to death, so I have to resort to trying just a little bit here. The Wind Slashes didn't help either. I forgot Bartz was in the back row again. Whoops. This clearly should have been over by now. I knew his damage was looking a little low. High potion spam working a treat when you're this beefy. A panda is down. What are next? Through the sky to the castle, and Azul Magia is just right here, hanging out in the basement. Bartz's chicken knife's looking pretty sweet, and Gaia's back to whiffing constantly. You love to see that. What's even more surprising though is Azul Magia actually did stuff. This included spamming status effects on Bartz and using White Wind to heal himself for 9,999 health. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those fights, isn't it? Since I can't use Gaia, my damage is downright terrible, except for Bartz's chicken knife, and that still whiffs what feels like half the time. Azul Magia uses level 2 ult, and it hit most of the party. Just great. Then level 5 death hit Lena. This is easily one of the worst Azul Magia fights I've ever had. Somehow though, Bartz managed to carve off all of Azul Magia's HP solo, including that White Wind heal. Yikes. Saved and rested. The snooze cruise continues. The next boss is Catastrophe. Earthshaker right off the bat, that's real nice. Get to throwing those high potions right away, girls. Gaia's also useless again, so I'm putting my faith in Bartz and his hasted chicken knife. Yup, everyone else is spamming items because it's the only way I can stay alive. One more Earthshaker comes out and I'm on death's door. Bartz is a real trooper and he's still trying to cut his way to victory, but Catastrophe's getting wise to my strategy. He's spamming Demon Eye petrifying Bartz. Whatever. The girls have gold needles and they will spam them. Another Earthshaker comes out and Kryle's toasted. I can't revive her. I gotta get the rest of the party healthy in case yet another Earthshaker comes out. And I made the right call because I was just barely healthy enough to survive yet another Earthshaker. But right before I bit it, Bartz pulled through with a big hit. Final Fantasy V is really fun having your only damage source be the chicken knife, for real. Kiss collected and it's time to take on Halicarnassus. Ribbit means I'm forced to spam Maiden Kisses right away. Now I begin the physical attacks. God, Bartz, please just stop whiffing. You have one job. Just one job, okay? Oh no, Halicarnassus used haste? Hasted Halicarnassus uses Holy, and that murks Kryle, and then she uses Ribbit again. Damn, the AI finally figured out that haste is insanely strong, didn't it? I did manage to stabilize and smash her face in, but this was a very embarrassing display from the Geomancers. That being said, Halicarnassus is still not dead. Bart eats a Holy, and that's Ribbit number 3. My god, please just die, please. Phoenix down, straight into physical attacks, killing Bartz again. But finally, my team pulled through. Easily the worst Halicarnassus fight of all time. Easily. And that boss is usually a joke. But now it's time for Twintania, and my ape-like brain has the spark of an idea once again. I'm Reflect ringed up, and I'm going to use the lowly Diamond Bell. Since it counts as a magic attack, Twintania will counter with Mega Flare, which will then be reflected and he will roast himself. God, I love it when a plan comes together. Just gotta remember that only the Diamond Bell is magic, the Earth Bell counts as a physical. Whoops. Even Mind Blast gets reflected? God, I love it. Geomancers may only be slugging off like 300 a hit on Twintania, but he's nailing himself for 4,500 every single turn. The fight's over before you know it. But I am in a very bad spot. A Panda, Azul Magia, Catastrophe, and Halicarnassus have bled me dry on items. I have no choice, I have to leave the rift to restock. This was not unexpected for Geomancers, but it always sucks to have to do this. Safe to say I have major concerns moving forward. I'm not about to head back down just to leave the rift a second time. I chose to spend some time grinding in the northern desert. I then used my newly acquired funds to buy as many elixirs as I could carry. Level 49's the magic number as I run my booty cheeks back down to the rift. Oh right, I have to fight Gilgamesh in the Crystal Dimension. What possible crystal-based geomancy could be down here? Twister? Alright, kinda strange, was hoping to use some of the crystals around, but okay. And you know, it'd be nice if the geomancy actually did something too. Once again, I have to put all of my faith in Bartz and his chicken knife. Lena did pull off a rare steal of the Genji shield. Sure, I'm glad that Geomancers can use shields, for real. Gilgamesh leaves because he's a pushover, but only getting Twisters from Gaia does not bode well moving forward. I'm gonna touch that light, and you can't stop me. Necrophobe with his 4 barrier buddies. What possible strategy could I employ here? It's the only one I've been using, the chicken knife. Although an early wind slash from Gaia is promising. The entire round of barrier magic is really scary, but Geomancer is proving to have very high magic defense. My guess here is I'm just gonna run all of the barriers out of MP. High potions, let's go. Gaia is now churning out whiffing Twisters, so nuts to that one. I'm just gonna have to rely on Bartz killing the barriers with the chicken knife while everyone else spams high potions just to stay alive. My party is surviving with 2 high potion chuckers, so I'm gonna keep spamming Gaia on Kryle and praying she gets a wind slash off. Oh look, she did it. Barrier 1 falls, and then Barrier 2 falls shortly after. but I am getting taxed very hard on items. After a few rounds of tanking magic and spamming high potions, barrier 3 is down for the count, only one left. I managed to actually kill barrier number 4 before it ran out of MP. I finished the phase with nearly full health too. Time for the Necrophobe, who immediately flashes me. And it whiffed on Bart's. Not that you'd notice, because he whiffed his chicken knife swing anyways. Beautiful. Here's Ferris showing off the mighty Earth Bell. Okay, this is maybe the one time the Earth Bell is decent, because Earthquake procs can deal about 3,800 damage. Necrophobe is weak to all elements, by the way. Despite being insanely high level, Necrophobe is throwing me around like a ragdoll. Even in the back row, his physicals are devastating. Finally, Bart's gets the memo and lands some hits. Ferris decided to ignore the memo and stop spamming Earthquake. Come on, you gotta give me the Earthquakes, lady. Now we're talking. Kryl and Lena spammed high potions and Phoenix Downs like it was going out of style. Ferris and Bart's finally managed to deal enough damage that Gilgamesh shows up. Then, Gilgamesh sealed the deal. Finally, I'm at the last save point. I tore through a ton of high potions, but I'm feeling good about my chances on Neo Exdeath for some reason. I'm level 49, it's time to end this run. Returning from their eternal slumber one last time, it's the Dawn Warriors! And Lena's dad. I'm gonna chop this tree down. I'm fighting way up here in the void of space, and that looks like a new tile set to me, boss. Show me your power, Gaia! Oh, great, it's Wind Slash. Hang on. Is it always Wind Slash? You've been by my side all along. I can definitely make this work. Wind Slashes are dealing about 1,000 damage, but that's actually pretty good considering the garbage I've been dealing with lately, and they're coming out quick with haste. But wait, if it's always Wind Slash, my ape-like brain has its neurons activate once again. I've got those air knives from all the way back and more. Time to use them. Get equipped, everybody. Oh yeah, that's an extra 600 damage per Wind Slash. You'll love to see it. If Exdeath's just gonna stand there and take it, I'm not complaining. Throw out every single Wind Slash you got. Alright, Exdeath didn't like that, and finally threw out Flare. A Phoenix Down can deal with that, and you know what? I think I'm gonna rip the elixirs early for this one. Exdeath did decide to slug me a couple of times, but the Wind Slashes are relentless. Phase 1 is Wind Slash to death, and I managed to dodge the scary Meteor phase, and Exdeath like never used a white hole, so that's beautiful. As for Neo Exdeath, spamming Wind Slash sounds pretty good, but I just can't help myself. I'm ripping through the lamp charges to get Odin's Zantetsuken. Sayonara, lady in the back. Post Odin is Sildra, and Air Knives booster, so that's some serious damage coming out. You'll be seeing more of that one sooner than you think. Now I'm healed up, and it's time to start spamming Gaia's Wind Slash. Strong target-all damage definitely simplifies this fight a lot. I will continue to work through the lamp to Earthwall to neuter the physicals. I got Earthwall off just in time to get blasted by Almagest. I'm taking zero risks here. I'm getting everyone up and recovered before resuming the Wind Slash rampage. I got a round off before Grand Cross came out, and oh my god, all it did was poison? You love to see it. Geomancers resume the endless columns of wind smashing to Exdeath over and over again. But here's Almagust number 2, and this one's way worse. 2 deaths. I can deal with it, I can deal with it. The wind wall stops for now, and I'm spamming elixirs. I can't take them with me after all. Yuck. Even in the back row, those vacuum waves hurt. And before I can recover, Grand Cross comes out again. A frog and whiffs? My god, man, just wave the white flag already. The party's back up and recovered, and the endless storm continues. I heard the ding, that's one dead part. My only hope is to keep spamming Wind Slash and hoping to kill them both at the same time. One more Wind Slash comes out, and that's one more dead part. One day I'll avoid the Meteor spamming phase, but that's not today. The Geomancers ate the Meteor, and then Bart's immediately ate a Vacuum Wave. Lena and Kryl are all that's left. Just keep Wind Slashing, girls, you can do it! And one was all that it took. That's Final Fantasy V completed using exclusively Geomancers. And I, for one, will take that free win on Exdeath. Final Fantasy V using exclusively Geomancers was completed at level 49 in 11 hours, 54 minutes, and 25 seconds. Once again, we've crossed into the "it's fine" territory. Geomancer itself is pretty underwhelming, which is why I think it's almost always passed over by most people. Outside of Gaia, the main abilities you get are borderline useless. Taking damage from lava floors is annoying, but it's barely an inconvenience since there's like 2 dungeons with them. Pitfalls are annoying in the Island Shrine, but to build the core job abilities of Geomancer around those 2 things is laughable. So let's talk about the only decent ability Geomancer has, which is Gaia. Gaia is a no-cost randomized attack depending on the tile set that you're sitting on, which means it could be super good, like in the Ancient Library versus Byblos, where it's always a fire attack, Alternatively, it could be downright terrible, like in the sky versus the Soul Cannon, where every single attack you have whiffs. Even when you are sitting on a good tile set, there is still the randomized nature of it. God, I really love randomized attacks like the Dance Command and Gaia so much. It's my favorite thing to do in this game. There is one more nuance to Gaia which isn't immediately obvious. As you level up, the amount of options increases. It's most obvious in the Forest tile set. You start with Branch Arrow, which is pretty good, but as you level up, Branch Spear unlocks. Branch Spear is a direct damage upgrade in those Forest type areas. Unfortunately, most of the time, leveling up Gaia doesn't give you stronger damage spells. It instead starts to push towards instant death and gravity style attacks, which of course, most bosses are immune to. Which leads you into a bit of a catch-22 in this challenge. There's no chance you get through the Soul Cannon without grinding since Gaia is your best option and it simply doesn't work on the Soul Cannon. So you are forced to level up. This pushes you to the further end of the Gaia spectrum that leads to making it very awful on boss fights. If Gaia doesn't work when a boss rolls around, you're basically forced into being a terrible melee attacker, as evidenced by most of my fights post-Atmos in the Barrier Tower in Galoof's world. When Gaia's good, it's very good, but when it's bad, it's completely useless. I will note that Gaia is actually really good in the hands of a mage as a secondary ability. Gaia unlocks quickly, and it's a useful tool for getting through dungeons since it doesn't use MP. Oh right, should we talk about bells? Yeah, so bells kinda suck, but not as badly as you might think. There are some very niche applications like on Ifrit and Omniscient, but other than that, they're pretty terrible most of the time. The Diamond Bell has some weird scaling which kind of works out since there's no other bells until the Merged World. I thought about trying to get the Rune Bells from the Interdimensional Rift, or the Twinkle Bell from Twintania, but bro, rare steals? No thanks. Geomancer ends up unfortunately mostly just being a job roster filler. An underwhelming job with a dice roll mechanic, and sometimes your dice always just roll once. Getting constant wind slashes versus Neo X-Death was a gift as far as I'm concerned. I can't imagine how bad this fight would have gone if I had to do it with pure melee. I probably would have been forced to fish for earthquakes from the Earth Bell like this was some kind of Berserker-only challenge on the Super Nintendo. Geomancer is the 16th job finished, and that caps off the Fire Crystal, the first fully finished crystal. I'll have to summon up the strength for the next job after I snooze. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.